Now let's talk about some of the best practices. The first one is that which we just talked about the limitation. There is a workaround of implementing restart your state machine from that particular point from where it got failed. And how you can do is it has been documented by AWS by their blog. So I will suggest you to go through this blog and it will help you to understand how you can do that. Um, at the high level, what this blog talks about is that you need to identify the failed state of your execution by calling some of the APIs which it provides. And once you find it out, then you have to create a new state machine which will be triggering and starting that state machine from that point. The second point is about the state machine maximum execution time limit. So as I talked about that it is 1 year up to the which you can run your state machine. So if you miss to define your timeout seconds in your state machine, then it is going to cost you very much if for some reason your state is stuck for any of the responses. And on top of that, it provides you another feature called continue as a new execution, which can spin up another state execution from your existing running execution, and that is going to make your execution to be running infinitely. So be aware of this issue, and best way to identify those kind of issues is through monitoring your execution metrics and defining your timeout limits for each execution. The third one is about the event history, which we talked about that there's a 25,000 limit is there, but if you use the feature of continuous new execution, then you can overcome this limit and you can spin up multiple state execution for your state machine flow workflow, and you can distribute your event history with those state machines, right? So let's suppose if you have a long running execution which has 10 steps and you are expecting that it will have more than 40,000 state event entries, then you after the step 5 you can spin up the another execution and distribute those event history between those two execution. The next one is about timeouts. So by default, Lambda function does not set any timeout for your state execution. And as we discussed, if you have any problem with the response of one of the state, it will be keep running it, right? So you should be defining your timeout seconds in this, and then also you should be defining your heartbeat seconds as well. So what is the use of heartbeat second is that if you have a long running task, if you have an activity worker which is not in AWS, it is running outside of your AWS, then you need to define this heartbeat seconds to keep that thread alive. The way it works is that your worker needs to make a call to the state machine within this heartbeat second of time call using the send task heartbeat API call and call it periodically to ensure that your thread is alive. And that's the way you can run your long running tasks. One piece of advice is don't use the step functions for your live API calls through the API gateway, because REST API calls are meant to be very short, which can execute within few seconds, and for that step function is not the good answer. You can directly implement the lambda function to do that job and get it running. Second thing you need to remember is that API gateway makes a call to the state machine in a asynchronous way. Okay, so it's fire and forget. It does not give the response back. If you need to get the response back, there is a API called describe execution. You need to call to this API using this API periodically to check if the state is still running or it got completed. Once it got completed, then you will be able to get the response from that. So you need to always write a second method to do that other than your actual method which is running that state machine execution. So it's a bit complicated with API gateway. I believe that in future AWS will make it little simpler to run. Now let's talk about how to do logging and monitoring of a state function. I have kind of showed you how we do logging and monitoring, but let's have a quick look on this. So with CloudWatch, you can do the monitoring of all the logs for the step function similar to the Lambda what we do. It provides many matrices like execution matrices, activity matrices, Lambda matrices, and if you see in this snapshot, it shows all those execution type of matrices available. You can just click on this and go find it out. The another way of doing the monitoring is checking the visual workflow, which we walked through just a few minutes back. The third one is about the event history and that how for each step it logs what is the input, output, and exception. So these are the ways you can do monitoring. It also provides the integration with CloudTrail to log the events. How you can use that to build the complex workflows, passing uh, data from one state to another state. It provides the out of the box features like error handling, retry, visualization panels. So use those features and see how it works for your use cases. But as I said that it might not fit all the use cases. Be aware of the limitations and use it as per your use case. Thank you for listening me. You can follow me on Twitter as well as you can go to my website www.rajeshbhojwani.co.in. I have several blogs around AWS, cloud native applications, PCF, and so on. If you have any comments or any feedback, please put it in the comment section. That's all. Thank you.